We finally made some shots. We had a real dry spell shooting threes, and we made 3 or 4 in a row there that gave us a little bit of a spread. But they're a hell of a team, really well coached, really active, really execute well. So it's a fine win for us. We feel really good about it, but realize that we still got a long way to go. We just had 1 turnover in the second half, and that hurt us in the first half. So we took care of the ball better. Defense was solid, but going to have to play a lot better in Denver.
You know, Smitty, we shouldn't be amazed because this happens all the time, but here's a season where we started saying, is this the best job he's done with all the injuries, the kids they're playing? Then it looked like the lack of talent and depth got to him, and you start to see them sliding, and all of a sudden somehow they found their footing again and are getting big wins.
Yeah, Casey, I will say, just watching the Spurs all these years, and this is not a team that you think will win a championship, 3D, but I will say the job he's done this year, because he's changed I would say the look of this team a couple times, one because of injury, then also they've played a couple different styles because some guys are in and out, and then DeRozan's being new. And then all of a sudden you look up there on a win streak again and battling and probably would get a chance to make the playoffs. Got guys playing out of position. DeRozan has played some point guard, 3D. Bryn Forbes from Michigan State never played point guard in his career. From high school, college, he's played some point guard. And then you have other guys that's stepping up like Bertans and also Jakob Poeltl. They just find guys to fill in, and they win. And he's doing a nice job.
You know, we're sitting here talking about it off the air. You're Denver. You start to figure out, where do they fit? You hate to say the other team other than Golden State in that conference final this far ahead, but we watched Houston get a win over a team in OKC a lot of us think could be that team. Denver's played well. Then you see a night like tonight. They got more talent. Jokic doesn't take a lot of shots. Are you seeing too much inconsistency in some of these games from Denver?
No question, inconsistent at times, Casey, but I'm not ready to press the panic button because of all the injuries. So when Millsap went down and Will the Thrill went down, they held the fort for so forth. Now teams understand how they play through Jokic. When you look at the stat sheet, you look at Murray 4 of 19, that's what Pop's talking about. Their defense stepped up tonight and took him out of his game. And then Jokic only takes 5 shots. So it lets me know Pop was gearing some defense to take him out of his sweet spot, only that 1-3. So the Spurs defense showed up tonight.
Smitty, where do you look at them in kind of that mix of those Western teams that have played well, but you start to think ahead towards the playoffs? Could they do some damage?
You know, and I look at Jokic, to 3D's point. I think so much of him, as we talk about his passing ability, becomes that point guard. But then you look at the nights where we need more than just an assist. He had 10 assists, which is fantastic for a center. But 5 attempts, I think, Casey, that's just not enough for Jokic, a guy like that with that type of talent. So injuries, just like 3D said, and I still think to get over the next hump, you're going to have to find a point guard to be able to get a Jokic and some other guys easier looks versus him having to be the guy to get all the guys looks.